Hello, everybody. My name is Robert Sagati, also known as the Commenting Collector. As you can probably tell by the different setup, this is a special episode. One of the reasons I love this community is it embraces young and old, rich and poor, different locations and backgrounds, and different methods and forms to present content. Pack rippers, show and tellers, storytellers. Some go on location, out in the field. I love them all, but my favorites are storytellers like Junk Wax Hero. But when some go out in the field, like chasing cardboard, and my next guest, Signs of the Pastime, to tell a story, then it is amazing. So, without further ado, please welcome my next guest, Hugo.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, you made
How's
it.
it going? I
Good.
made
How
it.
are you?
Good to see you.
Good to see
I'm
you.
doing great. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, this is
You're
awesome, man.
welcome.
Good to
It's
good to
it,
talk to you.
it's an honor to have you as my first guest. So it's great.
The honor's all mine, man. I appreciate it. It's very humbling to get this opportunity to be on here. And thanks a lot.
Well, and for all the viewers out there, this is really the first time, other than a brief chat we just had on the phone, that Hugo and I have actually talked in person or in front, in face to face, I should say. So, yeah, it's
Yeah,
awesome. So, you
it
ready for
is.
this? Hey,
Let's
before we
let's do it,
get,
man.
you know, even even though we talked on the phone, kind of a preliminary, briefing of what we're going to do to all the viewers out there, I'm springing this right now on Hugo. I did not tell him about this. We're gonna have a little
All
fun
right.
tonight. Okay.
All right.
We're gonna
Sounds
play a
good.
game. Okay, we're gonna play a game. And if you win the game, Hugo, you can get this will be yours. I don't know if you can see it. It's an Anthony
Oh,
Bender autograph.
oh,
And
cool.
I dug it out of my collection because it's a Miami Marlin, right?
Right.
Have
Yeah.
you heard of him?
I've heard of him,
Anthony
but
Bender.
I don't know how well he's playing. Or
I think he's not doing the greatest. Truth
all
be
right.
told, I had a pack rip on one of my videos and I pulled this. So anyway, now how
Okay.
can you
Cool.
win this?
Hey.
You're wondering how does Hugo win this? Okay. During our
Sure.
conversation, I have a secret word that is used in common conversation. And if you say the secret word, this duck is going to come down. Okay. That you said the secret word. Okay. Do me a
All right.
favor, because on the other side of the duck is the secret word. I'm going to show the viewers what it is so they know what to expect, but you cannot see it
Okay.
because then the cat is out of the bag, so to speak. So
All right.
just turn your head just a second, okay? All right.
All right. Go ahead.
Okay. There's the secret word. Okay. Now if Hugo says that, the duck comes down. And okay, you could look now, Hugo.
I'm good. Okay.
The duck comes
Just in
down.
case it was a long word. I don't know.
Yeah, this is so weird. Okay. All right. And then this is yours. Okay. So that's just
All right.
fun. All right.
Awesome.
And
I hope
I
it's
just want to
easy. I
let the
hope I know
viewer
the word.
we'll see.
We'll
It's just a
see.
common word used in everyday conversation. So
Okay.
and just a little note for the viewers, you could probably tell that my background and all that stuff is totally different. I don't have all my packs and stuff behind me. So when I show things at the camera, it's just kind of a little odd for me. So, okay. All right. Hey, here's my first question. Signs of the Pastime. How did you come up with that name?
Yeah. Oh man, good question. Just I was thinking, being that I'm into autographs, I wanted to have something to do with like signatures, signing, and the title, and then being that baseball is America's greatest pastime, it's America's pastime. I just thought, well, signs of the pastime, kind of like signs of the times, a little play on word. And yeah, I kind of said, yeah, I dig it, man. Let's go with that. It was kind of quick. I kind of didn't really think it through
Right?
too much. I had regrets at first. I was like, well, it's not catchy or snazzy or anything. So I did have regrets, and I thought I'm still early in the game. I can change it, but I don't know. Everyone that I've met that I've told them, what the name is, they've liked it. So I believe them. So
Exactly, because
that's what
it
it is. That's
mixes it,
it.
it meshes the pastime with, of course, the national pastime, baseball, and the
Right.
signs is
Yeah.
autographs, correct? So let me
Autographs. Yeah,
ask
and that's
you,
my primary thing.
okay,
Oh, and
now,
real quick, another thing is
yeah, yeah,
I wanted to kind of my channel. I want to document like a lot of baseball history and things.
hmm
So as you can see for some of my videos, I'll go to a place, and there'll be signs of baseball there. That may not be there anymore, but I like to talk about
right,
the history behind it. So kind of like,
right.
also that it's between signatures, autographs, and you know uh, something to do with baseball history at a certain location. So that's the whole signs of the pastime. So yeah.
No, that's awesome. That's actually what attracted me to your channel, is that you would go
Oh
out on
really?
location. And now that you've
Mm-hmm.
explained it, it's almost like when you go out to these locations, it's almost like a time capsule. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
what used to be, right?
Right. Right.
Have you ever seen, there's these channels and they're called urban explorers. They'll go like to different
Yeah.
like vacated shopping malls or
Oh yeah.
amusement parks, or and
Mm-hmm.
I love those for some reason. I just love like the history of what used to be. So I kind of get that
Yeah.
vibe from your channel a little bit. So
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
yeah.
I do
Yeah,
like that. Yeah. I hope to do more. As I you know get out more of my local area here. I plan on doing on stuff like that. Things that
exactly.
like I'd love to be where like the Polo Grounds were before Ebbets Field, like really historic
hmm
places. So
Right.
yeah, but that's down the
Yeah.
road someday. Right now I'm
Well,
sticking to
yeah,
Florida.
unless we can get in that time machine and go back, that's the
Oh man.
second best thing we can do, is go where they used to be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, hey, Hugo,
Mhm.
speaking of autographs, do you get most of
Yeah.
yours like in person, or through the mail or eBay? How do you get your autographs for for the main
Yeah.
part?
Right now it's primarily shows in eBay. Just mostly pack pulled stuff that's certified already, so I trust it more. As far as like certifying them aftermarket, I like JSA. Some people probably don't like the sticker on it, but I don't mind because once you put the autograph on the card, you've already I guess altered it. So now with the sticker on the back, it's not a big deal to me. Tops does it with theirs. They put stickers, and I'm okay with that. So that's primarily what I get. But what got me started was as a child in person. I used to I grew up in a minor league, like near a minor league town, so it was autographs like more than I could handle. Like I was getting them on anything that if, if they could sign their signature on it, I was getting it on anything. So that's what got me started in it.
Well, the spring training atmosphere is so conducive to mingling with the players. You get the better access.
Yeah.
The first time I went to a spring training
Oh
game
yeah.
was in Sarasota at Ed Smith Field,
Oh yeah.
and at
Oh,
the
I love
time
it
it was
there.
the yeah. Oh, it's old fashioned baseball, and at the time it
Yeah.
was the home of the Reds, and I remember Ken Griffey Jr. was on the Reds at that time, and it was like
Yeah.
so
So
cool.
cool.
It's so
That
cool
is
to see
cool.
him up live and close. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I love the vibe at spring training. It's so laid back. I mean, it
yeah.
used to be more. Now it's the stadiums are getting more, you know,
hmm
bigger
Well,
and
yeah.
yeah,
But so Lakeland, that's where is that Detroit? Is that what it was that is that where you were first
yeah,
going to? Okay. See, I did my research a little bit.
yeah. That's my
So
hometown now. Well, you know, um, I've been in Lakeland for 7 years, but before that, I was living in Orlando, in like Orlando Kissimmee. It's like a suburb, and in
okay.
Kissimmee, the Houston Astros were there, as well as the Braves at
Okay.
Disney, and then
Yeah.
in
Oh yeah.
Orlando, well, it was way past the Twins, but still, there was spring training there. But then I moved to Lakeland, and it's
Right.
Tiger Town over here, man. So many people from
For
Michigan and
sure.
that live here now, and yeah, and I don't blame them. Tigers are. here in minor leagues, and you run into players all the time in town. It's pretty cool.
That is cool. Well, as a
Yeah.
guy that hails and lives in Minnesota, hails from and lives in Minnesota, and I really enjoyed your video. Speaking of Orlando, on Tinker Field, that back in
Oh
the
yeah,
day
cool.
used to be the home spring training location for the Twins before they moved
Oh
to
yeah,
Fort Myers. So yeah,
yeah.
and everyone out there that's watching, if you haven't had a chance to see some of Hugo's videos, check them out. That Tinker Field one is awesome. All his other videos, like he was talking about before, on location, you learn the history. They're great. So yeah, check those out. Right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Appreciate you checking that one out. Yeah, that was a fun one. Tinker Field, man, it's a shame they demolished it. I really thought they were going to save it. And
Yeah.
when I used to work security in the Citrus Bowl back then, the what is it called now? I forgot the Camping
I
World
don't know.
Stadium now.
Okay,
We used to
those name
change,
changes are
yeah, all these new sponsorships, right? So,
it's
but
crazy.
all the security team, we would go change at Tinker Field. So I would be in the clubhouse, where guys like Rod Carew and Killebrew and
Oh my
Jim Cott, all
goodness.
those guys changed. That was our fitting room, all to go out to work. And I used to, nobody really knew the history, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, wow, the Twins, they used this, and Jackie Robinson was here, and guys are like, okay, whatever,
Right.
dude. This is like an old clubhouse. Let's just get to work.
Yeah.
But I was, it's for me, it's got that attachment. I loved it. Yeah. Appreciate you checking that out.
Oh, sure. And everyone else listening, listen to this. This is the essence of this man's channel. He's got the Jackie Robinson used to be there. I mean, it's you were at one where Boog Powell used to play, right?
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Book Pile.
yeah.
Oh
It's
yeah.
great.
Yeah, he's a hometown
So
guy. Yeah, Book Pile. He was born and raised here. Well, until he was just about in high school, then they moved to Key West. But he played little league ball here in Lakeland. So there's still, I guess he's like a local hero, and there's still some stuff here and there from Book Powell. So
well,
pretty
that
cool
was the thing
stuff.
about.
Like you got to go digging.
Oh, for sure. And that was the thing about Florida until they got and I can't remember, was it the Devil Rays or the Marlins came first, but until they got those teams, they didn't have Major League Baseball, but they had all those other,
No,
the history in Florida, right? I mean,
right.
it's
Oh
amazing.
yeah. Oh, it's crazy. Like, oh, it is. Everywhere you go, pretty much. Like even in towns that now don't have spring training or anything. Like if I go to Gainesville, it's known as a college football town, but because of the Gators. But if you go there was spring training there way back in the day. And you pretty much any town you named it, something happened there. So I'm
Right.
really blessed to just be right in the center of it all. I love it. I can't wait to like get out and do some more. Now that the weather is getting cooler, I think I'll be
Mhm.
out and about a lot more. You know.
Well, well, yeah, I mean, I remember going to, spring or even watching spring training and listening to it on the radio and stuff. And then it would be through, February and March. And then spring training's over. And then there's no more baseball in Florida. I mean, other than, of course, high school, amateurs or
Amateur,
minor
yeah.
leagues, maybe. But so then when they got the pro teams, it's like, okay, now they're, part of the majors, even though Tampa has kind of
Right.
struggled with attendance, and then the
Yeah.
Marlins are hot and cold. Either they're winning the
And
World Series or they're or they're wallowing in the
right.
in the basement. But yeah,
Yeah.
so that's pretty cool. So
Yeah.
hey,
And struggling with attendance too, which is
yeah, no, for sure. I heard
I'm sorry.
attendance is up about 5% in the majors this year, so it's doing a little better. So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. That's a good sign.
which is good. Uh so what
Yeah.
motivated you or inspired you to actually get into the YouTube thing and do a channel and all that fun stuff that you're doing now?
Man, I had been a lurker for a while, and I would comment, and I would watch guys like Mangini and Lou Rock, and I always liked their stuff, and and I would see, what guys were showing and everything. It was always really impressive. So I never had anything that that great, and I was getting back into the hobby myself. So I was hesitant. I'm like, well, I wonder if anyone wants to see any of what I got. But, it really hit me one time. I was watching a live. I had really been thinking about jumping in, and there was a live with James Elite Hunters and Mangini, Dom Staven Sports Cards, and Adam Vintage Sanctuary. And, they were just talking about what it's like to get on YouTube, and they were really encouraging people to just do it, just dive in and take that chance. And I had been thinking about it. And I said, you know what? I talked myself into it. I said, my cards, all these other guys that I'm into, need some love too, and be remembered, and be talked about. So I thought, yeah, man, guys want to hear about some of these random dudes, that kind of have been forgotten a little bit. So yeah, I just said, let's go for it, man. Let's make this community even better. Everyone's got something to contribute and talk about that. That is exciting, and we'll help others see things that they probably hadn't seen before or enjoy. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. There was an opportunity, a need for what the content you're bringing is something, like I've said before. It's just something you don't see, especially in your special little, or your unique location in Florida, where you have so much history. But
yeah,
well, for me, I chuckled when you said lurker, because I was lurking too for a couple years. I was doing a lot of commenting and thumbs up and all that stuff, hence the name commenting collector. But no, I was listening. I'm a big, when I'm in sales, so when I do a lot of traveling, and I'll listen, music's great, but for a little change of pace, I'll listen to like a podcast or something like that. And so I'm like searching for baseball podcasts, and I came across Mike Moynihan's The Golden Age of Cardboard podcast. I think, wow, this is pretty cool. You're talking baseball and talking collecting and cards. And I was really digging it. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh, and you can also watch me on YouTube. And I'm like, oh, okay, let's see what old, Moynihan looks like. And, he's showing cards too. So then that's how I got hooked, is I started watching his show and then connecting to his other channels that he was talking about. And yeah, and then I took the leap a few months ago and started making my own content, because I have those unopened wax packs of pop culture and movies and television and stuff like that. So
cool stuff, man. I love it. It's like I said in my video, I don't have any seal. Well, I bought a couple the other day to do a VR for you, but I can't hold on to packs, man. I'm itching to see what's in it, and everything's been open that I have. So. But yeah, it's fun stuff, and and I don't know how I missed you for so long, because now I seem to see you all over the place. I'm like, he really is a commentator. It's really cool.
Yeah. There's some great channels. Some of the legends, I call them, like Mangini, Orlando, A Collector's Dream.
Yeah,
Orlando, man, I had like 5 subscribers, and all of a sudden he subscribes to me. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this guy has all this great stuff, and he's subscribing to my little channel, hey. And then Mike, Junkwax Hero, all that stuff. So it's like, I'm probably never going to be that, that large, but if I ever, you can't forget the community is it's just off the charts. It's great. So
it is.
Yeah,
it is. Now I'm starting to know guys and like texting guys or calling them. It's amazing, But yeah, Orlando was same thing, with me. I only had a few subscribers, and he gave me a shout out. He said, "Hey, check out this guy's video," and I was blown away. I didn't know what to expect when I made that video, but it's like he, put me out there, I guess you could say, and then I started getting subscribers, and I'm like, whoa, I've been watching these guys for a couple of years, and here they are subscribing now. It's kind of a pretty wild feeling,
Yeah, it's fun. So for you, Hugo, let's talk about maybe your journey from when you were young. Brazil, right? Brazil is where it. Okay.
Yeah, born in Brazil and lived there until I was 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just found that out about you. I was like, okay, all right,
Oh, really?
Brazil,
Oh,
because
cool. Yeah.
because because this is what I got.
Oh,
You,
man. Yeah, I've seen that in a video. Oh, my goodness. That's the
so that's
man
my
right there.
shout out to Brazil right there.
Oh,
Um,
man. So cool.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
soccer
a,
is a big part of my life. So that was something
yeah.
that I did not own any Pele items. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, maybe this is the time to get something. So
Yeah, that's a great one right there. You know, and I love the huge, like you said, big, bold signature right on there, you know? The only thing
exactly,
about
yeah,
cards, it's like, you know, you're limited for space, but, you know, Pele was like, you know, he was a bold man, you know, he just liked to sign his name freely, and there it is.
yeah,
That's a beautiful piece. Yeah. I'm really
yes.
jealous, man. Like Pele was like, you know, growing up in Brazil in the 80s, you know, he was still pretty young, you know, in the 80s. Like he was making the rounds. Like I lived in a pretty big city called Curitiba in a pretty big state, Paraná, south of Rio, you know, and it's like the fifth largest city in Brazil, I think. But you know, we had a big soccer stadium, and I got to see him like in 1985. You know,
Whoa.
he was going around just making the rounds. You know, like they would have ceremonies like honoring him and different guys that played on World Cup teams. But you know, the few memories I have of my dad, like that was one of them. My dad took me to the game, and he's like,
Okay,
"That's Pele," and I'm like, "Man, yeah, that's the guy I want to be like." You know,
man.
everywhere I went, I had a soccer ball on my feet. You know, like it was just. And then I never knew what baseball was. You know, and so I moved to America. I moved to Providence, Rhode Island, and it was like nobody really played soccer, you know. So it was like 86. It was the 1986 playoff hunt for the Red Sox, you know. So I got hooked on baseball, and it's been baseball since. Soccer now, you could ask me to play, and I'll I'll look clumsy, man. You know,
Oh, really?
and never
Okay. See, I was going
never
to
played
ask
it
you that.
again.
I was going to ask you. So
No,
you didn't
really.
grow up playing soccer in Brazil? You did
In
not.
Brazil,
Okay.
I did, and
Oh,
I was
you
pretty
did.
good. And then,
Okay.
but yeah, I completely stopped. You know, when I moved to America, completely stopped. And then I had friends in high school that played. My high school team was pretty good at soccer, and they're like, "Come on, man, you're Brazilian. You should be able to play." And by then, I was
Stereotype.
so
Yeah.
into
There you go.
yeah, stereotype, man. You know,
Yeah.
and then you know the hair and stuff. It's like, man, you got the look. You know, and I just I didn't have the look. I mean,
Wow.
maybe looks
I,
wise, but not like dribbling the ball or anything, kicking it. Nah, I
okay.
don't know.
So you were 9 years old when you came over
I
to
was
Boston.
Yeah, I was
Were you
8.
8?
Yeah, 8
Okay.
years old. Yeah, and I moved to near Boston, Providence, Rhode Island. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. All
yeah.
right.
I had family
So
there,
you
and
said,
you know,
did you say 86? You came over in
86,
86?
June of '86. Yeah,
Oh, I'm chuckling though because you're in Boston in '86.
right.
Mookie hits the ball. It goes through
Oh
Buckner's
man,
wickets,
yeah.
and
Oh man,
Ray Knight
I remember it
scores.
so
Right?
well. I didn't,
You were
I didn't understand
devastated.
what my family. Oh, my family was losing their mind. I was still so new to baseball. You know, I knew I was supposed to root for the team that said Boston, and but yeah, my family was going crazy. You know, and you know, I was upset too because they were upset, but I had no idea what what the big deal was, and until later on when I
It's
understood, you know, World
it's
Series and
probably
the moment.
it's probably a blessing you weren't a born and bred diehard Red Sox fan, because that would have been a tough pill to
Right,
swallow. I mean, I was
right,
watching that from
yeah.
afar, and it was just crazy. So
Oh man, heartbreaking. Yeah, you know, they made the mistake of leaving Buckner in the game for, you know, for him to celebrate or whatever. You know, like everyone thought they were just gonna wrap it up, and poor guy,
it's
man. He was a good guy. You know, I met Buckner after a Pawtucket Red Sox game. And it's crazy. You know, I got his autograph on an index card, and I
okay,
remember that day so well. You know, there was all this. It was crazy. You know, like he needed a police escort because, you know, Boston fans are brutal, man. You know, they're
right.
dangerous. They're a dangerous bunch when they're pissed off. You know, and anyway, he was really nice. He stopped and signed autographs, and then I was, you know, after I mentioned it on a video, I was looking up that day, you know, to see why he was in in Pawtucket because he wasn't a coach or anything. He was kind of like a hitting instructor type. You know, he would like give advice to different players. That's why he was there. But anyway, he got into a fight with a guy in the parking lot right there. That day that I was at the game, you know, getting his autograph, I didn't realize that there was commotion going on, but I didn't realize that, you know, he got in some guy's face about, you know, whatever the guy said to him. It was like something really nasty, and Buckner like really got in the guy's face and kind of put his hands on him and everything. So it was pretty wild. But you know, it's such a huge crowd that I didn't see that part. I just got the autograph, but so it's pretty crazy, man. But Buckner is one of my favorites, man. I have a soft spot in my heart for Buckner. You know?
No, that's awesome because I know before he got to the Red Sox, he was a great player with the Cubs. I remember that. Buckner was really good.
Right.
So for that to happen, I mean, that was unfortunate. Kind of reminds me of that. I forget his name, which is probably good for that player. But when the Cubs were playing the Marlins and that third base, that pop up down third base, and
right. It was
a
Steve Bartman, I think it was.
Bartman.
Bartman, right? Oh man.
So Buckner and Bartman were probably pretty maligned in their hometowns for that. That's crazy.
Yeah, tough breaks, man. You know, stuff that just happens, and you know, you get remembered for it. It's not fair, you know. I'm sure that guy Bartman's a great dude, and you know, he looked like he just got back in the sea. I was just, I don't know, man. My heart broke for that guy, because you know, instincts, you're gonna go for it. You know, you're at a game, you're in a moment, you're not realizing like the player's right there about to catch it, and oh man, baseball, man. You know.
Yeah, it's just a part of history that, you know, he stayed out of the limelight pretty good. I guess he was offered lots of money to be on shows and stuff, but he's like, no, I'm just gonna try to fade away. And I think for the most part, it did work. It was Moises Alou that was yelling at him. Remember that? He's like, Moises came over and so he didn't help things out. He's like, what are you doing? You know? No. And the thing is, I love Moises Alou. I mean, I still like, but yeah, he was one of my favorite players, Moises Alou. I always liked him. But so that kind of. So now you're in Boston, and you're a Red Sox fan. So who are Mike Greenwell? Remember, was this Greenwell era? Or I remember him. He was really good.
Greenwell, man, that's my guy. Greenwell was you know, my Little League card. I showed it once on a video. I have a Little League card on the back. It says favorite pro, Mike Greenwell. You know, so
no way.
Yeah,
I played fantasy baseball back then, and I know he was raking all the time. So Greenwell would put up the numbers.
Man, you know, oh yeah, man. You know, Fenway is just, you know, you're primed for legendary status if you can stay, you know, active. You know, it's fun. A couple of weeks ago, I went to a show right up the street here in Lakeland. I could have walked to it, which is really cool. You know, to be able to walk to a show, but I'm leaving and I see a guy with a Greenwell jersey, but it's not a Boston. It's like it looks like a softball team, but it says Greenwell, number 39. And I'm like, nah, can't be. I was like, is that Greenwell? But so I went up to him and I said, hey, I see your name's Greenwell. Any relation to Mike Greenwell? And he goes, yeah, that's my cousin, you know, and he lives down in Fort Myers. And, you know, we had to talk, and I was like, man, Greenwell was my favorite player, man. You know, like, what's he up to these days? Like, he's a farmer now, you know, he's down there in Fort Myers in Lee County, just farming, and he's, I think, a county commissioner, or he's about to be county commissioner or something. So good for him, man. I would vote for him. I don't care what he's, you know, where he stands. I'm like, yeah, you played for the Red Sox, you get my vote, you know. But
that's really cool. So Hugo, so you cut out for a second. So was that guy at the show? Was he a relative of Mike Greenwell then?
Sorry, yeah, that was his cousin. Sorry, I probably did forget.
His cousin.
Yeah, his
okay.
name's Josh, and it was his cousin. He's like, yeah, Mike's my cousin, and such a cool guy. You know, my wife's like my biggest supporter. So she's like, hey, he's got a channel, Signs of the Pastime, and the guy pulls up, and he's like, all right, subscribe. You know, so
that's wonderful.
Pretty cool. You know,
that's wonderful.
Yeah,
so
he's like, hey, tell Mike I said hi. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna tell him about your channel. I'm like, all right,
yeah,
this is great.
So was that the Clearwater show, or what show was that you were at?
Actually, it's literally up the street. It's right here in Lakeland. It's a small show. Not many tables, probably 40 to 50 tables.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's like right there, just a couple of blocks from my house.
Well, that's really nice.
The Clearwater show is nice. I'm going to that in a couple of weeks, and I'm excited because I had a card out, but D Brown. Do you guys remember D Brown, the slam
Oh
dunk
yeah.
contest winner?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
so D Brown's going to be signing autographs at the Clearwater show in a couple of weeks, mid October. So I can't
Right.
wait for that. D Brown was one of my favorites, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah, well, remember Kevin Garnett? He was the big
Yeah,
man in town when he was
yeah.
with the Timberwolves all those years. So I was really a big NBA fan. Actually, I kind of have an arena employment experience myself. I in
Oh yeah.
1994, the Target Center hosted the NBA All Star game in '94. So I was just out of
Oh cool.
college,
All right.
and yeah, and the Timberwolves were looking for summer sales interns for the All Star season. So I got involved with the Timberwolves selling tickets to
Oh cool.
corporate sponsors and stuff like that. But yeah,
Nice.
and got to go to the All Star game and saw a lot of celebrities and players. It was awesome,
Oh
and
yeah.
that's kind of how you
Oh
you
man. What?
were you were saying you were involved with some arenas and stadiums too, right?
Right. Oh
Security.
yeah. Yeah. I had a part-time gig. Security. It was picking the event you want to work basically, and I picked all the cool ones, all the basketball games and the cool concerts, and I always requested like barricade and stuff at concerts, so it's like a front row seat.
Okay.
And but yeah, NBA. My one of my first gigs working in NBA was the All Star game in Orlando back in 2010 at the new
Wow.
arena, and yeah, man, there was so many celebrities. It was crazy. Like one of my
Yep.
favorite would. Do you remember Tommy Davidson?
No, not really.
He was an In Living Color comedian. He was in
Okay.
which one? Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls. He played the
Okay.
little guy. That went crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, Jim
So
Carrey.
Tommy Davidson, man, he was one that. Right. Yeah, with Jim Carrey, exactly. So Tommy Davidson pulls up, and I got to tell him like, "Hey, you can't be here," and got to tell him get your limo out of here. But he gets out with two tall blondes, and he's like, "I'm ready to party, man." Like, you can't tell me I got to
I
get
can
back in that car
imagine.
and drive around. I was like, but it was pretty cool. Like, those are the type of things that happen, at
Yeah.
these events. Just wherever you're at is going to be, yeah, like you said, a celebrity or former player. It's so cool. I had so many great moments, working that little part-time job. It was really cool gigs, man.
See, where I'm from, Hugo, the security detail at these concerts, they wear these are big badass dudes that are, because they're preventing,
All right,
rabid fans from rushing the stage with us. These are big guys, whatever. And
right.
the company that they have these T-shirts, it's Asia. You ever heard of that one? Asia,
Asia,
ASIA.
no,
Okay, so this
no.
is different, but yeah, they're always like, "Hey, you're not
Oh
going to
yeah.
mess with those guys," Not that I
Oh
would
man.
ever do that, but it's like, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So
Ours
yeah, deep.
it was it was strictly security. Any problems, it's like call the big guys. This police in the this police in the stadium, in the arena, just call them. For us, it was really just I don't know, to be a deterrent, I guess. Maybe we'll snitch. I don't know, but I wasn't gonna do much. I'm a pretty skinny guy. Although I do, I've done capoeira. To bring back um, Brazilian. The only thing that stuck with me instead of soccer, I did capoeira. I don't know if you know what that is, the martial art.
Oh, okay.
No.
So don't mess with
Yeah, look
you.
up capoeira.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
capoeira is
right.
pretty cool. So if things went down, I could handle myself a bit. But
Okay.
so
Hey,
yeah, I still did that. I might get back into it. At my
good
age
for
to
you.
stay physically fit, and active, I
Yep.
might be doing some capoeira again soon. It looks like a dance. There's a lot of movement and stuff, and um, it looks like you're dancing. But you if you get hit with one of those kicks, you're gonna feel it. So,
Really? See, I never heard of that. I've heard of Taekwondo and all that stuff, but yeah, that's good for you.
yeah,
Good
yeah. I'll have
for
to
you.
send you a link. Yeah, capoeira is it's really a
Keep you in
fun one.
shape
It's a fun
and
keep you in
and
shape.
protect
Yeah,
you.
man. But you're
And,
doing like cartwheels and stuff and back
okay.
flips. I can't do back flips anymore, but I'll be able to do some stuff. The backflip
Might,
days are gone.
so we might not. We're not going to see a backflip in a future video. Okay?
Oh
You're not
man.
going to go. You're not going to go Ozzie Smith on us and do a backflip.
Oh
Okay, that's too
man,
bad.
I don't
No.
know, but don't dare me. I might just
Well,
I
that's the
might
thing
just train
about.
for it.
No, but the viewers have to understand that, well, the ones that have seen your videos, and you have no inhibitions. You're singing on your videos, you're dancing on your videos, you're doing it
Oh,
all.
oh man.
Yeah, no filters, right?
Yeah,
Right,
I
which is
sung on my
great.
first, my
That's
very first video. Yeah, I
Hey,
sung
I
on my
sang a
very
little
first
bit.
one. I was like, oh yeah, you did on yours?
I sang a little bit briefly in my intro. I was talking about Mike. Are you familiar with Mike Junkwax Heroes channel?
Oh yeah,
Junkwax here.
oh yeah.
Okay. So
I was
so I was
following
singing
him
a
when he had
little.
like 50 subscribers.
Oh,
So
you're old school. Okay, you're one of the first.
yeah,
I
that's
caught
why
him
I
a
was
little bit
following him
later,
because
but
Boston guy. Well, yeah, uh
that's
huh.
right, Maine. Yeah, Maine. Yeah.
Maine, right? Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Red
so
Sox
I was
fan. So I was
singing
like,
the foreigner jukebox hero to be a
oh,
junk
that's right.
wax hero. So I was singing a little bit.
John Wax Hero. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
Cool. That's right. I do remember that now. Yeah, that's good. It gets all the nerves. Like yeah. Like if I can sing in my
right,
very first video, the rest is just gonna be pretty much a cakewalk, right?
exactly. Now
So
I'd love to
I'll
see
sing it.
some of the.
Yeah.
Now, are you
Mhm.
walking when you're doing his videos? Are you doing like a selfie stick thing with your camera, or do you have someone holding the camera
No,
for you?
selfie stick. Yeah, selfie stick.
Okay.
I've had my son hold the camera every now and then, but
Okay.
he moves a lot, so uh, I just I use the selfie stick and go for it, and and it's
I
like
I
you know. Uh, oh, go ahead.
I was just say, excuse me, Hugo. I was just say, I'd love to be a fly on the wall and see some of the people, in the background, just tourist people looking at this guy dancing and singing, walking around, talking, holding baseball cards. They're like, "What's up with that guy?" Right?
Oh yeah. Oh, it's crazy. Oh yeah, you get the looks. I think the biggest like where I got looks. I did a video. It was 4th of July, and I here in my in Lakeland they do a huge fireworks display, right? So here I am surrounded by hundreds and hundreds of people, and I just bring out my tripod, set up my camera, and I'm showing cards, surrounded by people, and they're all like, "Hey, what are you doing? Is that baseball cards?" I'm like, "Shit, I'm recording." It's like, I'll tell you later. But yeah, people just like afterwards, it's like, "Dude, what were you doing?" Like, are you showing baseball cards at a fireworks show? I got a lot of looks that day, but yeah, hey, you know, um, at first I was very like hesitant. When people are
Yeah.
around, I'm like, well, I'm gonna look like a weirdo, but I'm never gonna see these people again. Just like just go for it, man. Just have fun, and
Yeah.
things
No,
will
that's
work out well. That's
yeah.
my
Well,
motto now.
and that's what I like about your videos, Hugo. I can tell you're having fun doing it. And, it's infectious. It just makes you smile.
Uh,
It's great.
I
Um,
appreciate it.
so, so hey, going back to Brazil. So you come to United States. Now you came with your mom. Had your dad passed away at this time? Okay.
No, yeah, just my mom and my sisters.
Okay.
Unfortunately, my mom had to flee my dad. Like my dad was not a good guy, and
Okay.
she just had an opportunity and got out of Dodge.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
I
So
gotcha.
yeah, the last time I saw my dad was right before he went on a business trip, and I never saw him again because my mom's like, "Hey, we're going to America." I'm like, "Okay, cool. That sounds fun," and she's like, "No, like for good." It's like,
Gosh,
oh, I'm never gonna
crazy.
see my dad again. And it didn't. It hit me like afterwards, but initially I cried
Yeah.
because I was never gonna see my dog again. Like
Oh,
that was
yeah.
my thing. I'm like, oh, I'm never gonna see my dog. And um,
Right.
so that was the biggest trauma out of it at first. But yeah, it
Yeah,
was just
no,
yeah,
I mean,
single mom. In a new country,
yeah,
didn't speak the language, and she had 3 kids, and
yeah.
my mom's one of those. Yeah, hey, let's get to work, do the best we can. She right away got into college and learned to speak English, and she was really on us, was like, hey, you guys got English, like right. Up until then, it's like in Brazil, the only English exposure I had was like He-Man. Like I'd watch a lot of He-Man cartoons.
I wish I had the card to show you
You know,
right now.
I wish I had the He-Man card.
That's
But
funny.
I had He-Man, and then my family that lived here would send us gifts. So I had like an Inspector Gadget toy and stuff, and like a Knight Rider. So I knew how to say all the catchphrases, and I knew like Scooby Doo and stuff. So I knew words like zoinks, even though it's not a word. You know, like here I am in America, and I don't speak a lick of English, and people are talking to me, and I'm like zoink. That's not a word.
You're a product of the
It's like
pop culture. That is awesome.
yeah, that's it. I knew how to speak pop culture, man. That's it. You know, but so we learned really quick, and and just and baseball. I guess what better way, right, to become an all-American boy, I guess you could say, and so
well,
we
kudos
hit
to
the
your
ground running, man.
mother. Kudos to your mother. I mean, that had to been take a lot of courage, and she's obviously raised you and right and family. Now, did you get any of her, or does she have any passion for sports too, or does she have any? Is she a fan? Or
she's a huge soccer fan. Huge. She can tell you, like, she names all the players. Like, she's really like shocked that I'm such a baseball fan. She knows some about baseball. Like, if you ask her name a baseball player, if I ask her name a baseball player, guarantee the first player out of her mouth is going to be Jose Canseco. I had like a life-size poster of him in my room, and she had like a crush on Canseco back in the day. So that's the first guy that will come to mind. But yeah, she's a huge soccer fan. She lives in Portugal right now. She just moved to Portugal, so she she's like, over there in Portugal, like soccer is like a religion, and so many Brazilians are moving there, and they're just going to keep getting better at soccer, so. But yeah, she's a big time sports fan. I mean, soccer. She knows that a lot.
Football.
But I can't talk to her because I don't follow soccer. Yeah, so it's like, so my mom looked at me with that disappointment, like, "Come on, man, like, what's wrong with you? You're a Brazilian boy. You should know this. But, like, nah, I can name all the big stars, but that's about it.
Yeah, his name's escaping me. Who's the mega star Portugal? What's his name? He's not on Portugal. I mean, he plays for the national
Cristiano
team.
Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Ronaldo, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, Ronaldo. Yeah, so she must love him. She loves him, I bet.
She does. Yeah, she loves him a lot. She used to like. Do you remember Luis Figo?
Vaguely.
Back a few years ago.
I'm not a big expert on like the European. I do like the English Premier League and all that stuff, but yeah, I played it a lot. I didn't watch a lot of it, but I played it. But yeah. So hey, I've got a Jose Canseco story if you want to hear it. This will be a tribute to your mom. Okay, so it's cool. I think it's 1990. Yeah, 1990. Me and my buddies went to a Twins game, and they were playing the A's. Okay, so that's Canseco was on the A's, and so after the game, we go out to a nightclub, and it's like one of the popular nightclubs in Minneapolis. And lo and behold, I see Jose Canseco by the bar, and I'm like, probably because I've had a few beverages, so I had a little bit of courage. I'm like, I got to say hi. I got to go up to him and say, hey, whatever. So I go up there and I go, I can't remember if I said Mr. Canseco or hey, Jose, whatever. And he's like, he looks at me and goes, I'm Ozzy. It was Ozzy Canseco. It was his twin brother. Yeah. Because at the time, Ozzy and Jose were teammates on the A's. And so it's like, and I feel kind of bad because I kind of just sheepishly, I just said, oh, I'm sorry. And I walked away. And I'm thinking, because I have twin daughters myself, so I know how kind of that whole dynamic with twins go. So I wonder if he got that a lot where people would thought he was Jose and then they found out it wasn't. And he's like, oh, okay, sorry to bother you, and walked away. I should have tried to engage him. Not that he cared or anything, but. And then he
that's great. That's a great story.
Well, I got more. Yeah.
Oh, all right,
I got
cool.
more.
All right.
I got more. So yeah, now I think he goes, he's over there, right? So yeah, he
Oh
goes,
man.
Ozzy goes, he's over there. So I go, okay. And then I'm thinking, okay, what am I gonna ask Jose? Because I gotta say something, what am I gonna ask him? So at the time, he's playing with the A's, and that's definitely a pitcher's park because all the foul territory at the Coliseum. So I'm thinking,
Yeah.
okay, I got my question. I got my question. So I go up to him. And now, mind you, this is 1990. This is before 98, Sosa McGuire and all that stuff. This is 90. Obviously, the steroid era had begun with Jose and the Bash brothers and all that
Oh,
stuff. So I
oh
so I
yeah.
asked him, I go, hey, Jose, nice to meet you, whatever. I said, if you played in Tiger Stadium, because it was still Tiger Stadium at that time, which was a bandbox, I said, if you played in
Oh
Tiger
yeah.
Stadium, how many home runs would you hit? That was my question to him. And he just looked at me just straight in the eye and he goes, 60. and then he did it just like just so nonchalantly. And I go,
Oh, I
that's
love
so
it.
cool, Jose. Thank you. So
I
that's my
love it,
Jose
man.
Canseco story. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, no, great question, man. He probably never got that because it's usually like, "Hey, man, cool, good to meet you." And you're like, "How many home runs?" That's awesome, man. So
Yeah.
cool that you got
And
to
he was
meet him.
very, of course, he was as brash as you would expect him to be. He didn't just say, oh gosh, oh
Oh
shucks,
yeah,
I don't know, it's tough. He says 60. I'm like, and this is, this
60.
is
Yeah,
when
I'll beat it.
Maris, yeah, I guess to give him credit, he didn't say 62 because Maris still had the record at 61. So
All
he didn't
right,
go over that.
right,
But yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Can't say I would have been like awestruck. That's cool. Cool story, man. I was gonna say like at first when I cut your story short a little bit, I was like,
No,
hey, it could
no,
have been
that's fine.
Jose because I heard stories that Ozzy and Jose would either sign autographs for each other. You know what I mean? Like play around and stuff
Oh,
and mess with fans. Like fans would go up to Jose and he's like, I'm Ozzy, and vice versa. People would go up to Ozzy and he's like, yeah, I'm Jose. And I read somewhere that they would do that stuff just to play around. So at
well,
first
like
I
I
was like, hey,
said,
maybe you didn't meet Jose, but then you did actually meet Jose. So
they were both
that's
there.
really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
man.
that's cool that your mother is a big Jose Canseco fan. That's awesome.
Oh yeah. To this day,
Yeah.
man, like she asked me, do you still have Conseco cards? And I don't have the heart to tell her that they're not worth much. So I'm like, yeah, ma, I got autographs and everything. What? Man,
Yeah.
I got a Conseco story, but it's not as exciting as yours. But I was a courier a few years ago, and I worked for Osceola County here in, right outside of Orlando, in Kissimmee and stuff. So there's a huge softball complex there, and Canseco's still active. He's still like hitting bombs. He's still hitting moonshots, and he's like 60, whatever. I don't know how old he is, but he's like 60 years
Yeah.
old. And
Yeah.
anyway, one day I delivered to one of my stops was the softball complex, and I'm running back out to my car. And I walk by this massive dude, man, and I look at him. I'm like, that's Jose Canseco. I'm like
Wow.
100% certain that's Canseco, but I'm working and I didn't want to bother him. I'm a little bit, starstruck. So I was like, I'm not gonna, let me just get in my car. The next day, I come back. I'm like, hey, you guys had a big event yesterday. Was Jose Canseco here? He's like, yeah, man. Oh, Canseco. Yeah, he came by and he was hitting bombs, man. You should have seen him. And I was like,
At
all
60.
right, so that was Canseco. I had my chance to like, as he was walking by me, like it was just me and him. We looked at each other and I didn't say
That's
anything.
cool.
I should have said like, dude, you can say like he's a beast,
Right.
man. The dude is
He's
still
like,
jacked up.
yeah, he's the
Yeah.
size of a pop machine, I bet.
Yeah, just impressive, I know, yeah. The guy, if there was somebody back in the day that would have, him and McGuire, yeah, truly brothers, and he's more of a Canseco fan, of course. I was rooting for him to be the guy that would go on to break records like that, but yeah, he
Yeah.
ended up being, not too popular with a lot of people, but I still like him. He gave me
Well,
great memories as a kid. He was like a
well, he,
superhero in the flesh, kind of, like in baseball.
well, yeah. I mean, he was a whistleblower on the steroid thing because at the time everyone's like, I don't know, maybe it's a rabbit ball or maybe it's because of all the armor that the pitchers aren't going inside. And then Jose just blew the whole lid off everything.
Right.
Is no, man, they're all taking steroids. he wrote the book and or
Yeah.
whatever, and yeah.
Oh
So
yeah,
he's
he's like, I injected
definitely
this guy and I injected that guy. I was like,
exactly.
whoa, man. Oh, the dude really went like, but it's sad, but he's kind of like the only one that was kind of telling the truth, right? I mean, he
Exactly.
admitted it,
Yeah,
and then
he
he
did.
was,
Yeah,
ended up being a pariah, and not what he did was right, but
right.
he was still, hey, this is what was happening, and
Yeah,
people like, oh, shut up, and
yeah,
nobody wants to talk about that, but it was happening, and I
exactly.
mean, it
And
was
when
still
he was
good
in his
times, man. Like
oh yeah,
the steroid
yeah.
era, I loved it. Baseball was fun.
Hmm. Well, yeah, he was in his prime. He was going 40-40, and um, yeah,
Yeah,
he didn't have the longevity. Even if even if they let people with steroids in, he's not going to get in. But at least he's not like
right,
Palmeiro. Palmeiro never owned it. Just said, and
right.
McGuire didn't want to talk
Yeah,
about it. So yeah, at least
to talk about it.
like
Yeah.
you said, Canseco was real. I mean, so
Yeah. Until guys got caught, nobody really admitted it, but he's like, yeah, I did it, and that guy did it too, and I was there
yeah.
when he did it.
Yeah, I
So,
was I was in I was at Wrigley Field in 1998, and one of my fondest memories. I was there for a Sunday night game. It was on ESPN Sunday Night Baseball. It was Cubs and Cardinals, and I remember watching batting practice because at Wrigley, you can walk down right in the infield and watch batting practice. Before the game, even if you're not sitting there, the ushers don't say anything. So I watched
yeah.
McGuire and Sosa take batting
Oh
practice,
wow,
and McGuire
man.
hit some shots. I've never seen a baseball go that far. This was in batting practice.
Right.
He was hitting them
Yeah.
kind of to the left of the over the old classic Wrigley Field center field scoreboard. He was hitting not directly over
Yeah.
it,
Oh
kind
man.
of to the left, but he was over. I mean, they were had to be
Man.
500 feet. I mean, it was just
Oh yeah.
that that's what brought
So
baseball
cool.
back, though. They like
Oh yeah.
who was it? They said the chicks dig the long ball, and
Oh
that's
yeah.
what kind of got
Oh yeah.
it.
And dudes, chicks and dudes, like everybody.
Exactly.
If bombs are being hit, man,
Yeah.
people are gonna watch. They're gonna tune in. That's the big event in baseball, right? The home run. It's like
Right.
people want to see that. To be able to hit a ball that far. Like I saw an interview with, I think it was Deion Sanders the other day, because Deion Sanders is
Mm-hmm.
back in the limelight with Colorado and everything, and they like, hey, you did everything in sports, Deion. What was the hardest thing? And he's like, hit a baseball. The hardest thing in sports. So to hit a baseball is already
Yeah.
amazing. To hit it 500 feet, it's incredible. And
Yeah.
steroid or not, it's still
Ex-
impressive. You still got
yeah.
to hit it.
Yep.
I did batting
Round
practice
ball and a
once.
round bat.
Right, exactly.
Yep.
I've taken batting practice at an 80-mile-an-hour pitch, batting cage, and I was lucky if I tipped them, man. I was like, it was barely tipping them, and like to hit them, you can barely see it. It comes so
Right.
quick, and that was 80 miles an hour. So
And that
now you got the pros, throwing 100 or breaking
yeah,
balls and curveballs. Forget it.
exactly. Yeah, it's
Nasty
good.
stuff. Yeah.
It's unbelievable. That's why I mean there's just a small percentage of players that even the ones that get drafted, your Brian Taylors who got drafted the first overall
Yeah.
pick by the Yankees can't miss
Oh
phenom.
yeah.
He never even got a taste of the show. So yeah,
Right.
it's amazing. Say Hugo,
Man.
did you bring anything for a little show and tell? Did you bring any items to show? I like the D Brown card. Do you have
Yeah.
any other?
B Brown. Oh yeah, I have quite a few. Oh, as a nod to all my friends in Minnesota, here's a Johan Santana auto patch card
Oh,
from Minnesota. He was the man back,
yes.
a few years
I
ago. This was the guy. That was the
appreciate
left-handed
that.
Pedro, I'd call him. Yeah.
Oh,
My
he
favorite
was.
autograph, I've shown this before, is Harmon Killebrew. My favorite autograph
There you go.
in baseball.
It
All right, let's see
is.
what else I got. Man, I had some, crazy. I had some Hulk Hogan cards from like WrestleMania 1, WrestleMania
Yes,
2,
you too.
Because I saw you got the Hulk Hogan autograph. And,
Yeah,
to be honest, like, as much as I love baseball, I never loved anyone as much as I loved Hulk Hogan. Like, that was my first love.
yeah.
When I came to America, Hulk Hogan was top of the WWF, and WrestleMania had just started. Like that was the first WrestleMania. Well, in '85, then '86, WrestleMania 2, '87, WrestleMania 3, Andre the Giant, and I was hooked, man. It was just like as entertaining as it got, and and I always, as far as anybody like who I would want to meet, it would be Hulk Hogan, and then sure enough, through security, so I'm working security at Universal Studios years ago, and they used to film. Oh man, I think it's TNA wrestling, but Hulk Hogan was part of that
Okay.
project there for a few years. A few years ago, and backstage, here we are going to go work the event, and one of the Hardy boys was, I think it was Matt Hardy was the champ at the time, or Jeff Hardy, I can't remember. I think it was Matt Hardy, but so they're back there. It's like one of the Hardy boys, Hulk Hogan, and the security team's walking by, and we're like, "Oh, hey, Hulkster," I'm like, "Hey, Hogan," I want to shake his hand so bad because I'm like, this is my opportunity to meet, like, my idol here. But he's like, "Hey guys," and cool guy.
Wow.
And then, like I was that close to him, and for me, I was like, "Oh man, this is the man right here." Like Hulk Hogan it doesn't get cooler than that, man. And
That's
now
a wonderful story.
it's like he does. I don't know if you know this, but he does. He runs a karaoke show every Monday in Clearwater. Yeah, he has Hogan's Hangout, in Clearwater, one of his restaurants, bar, and I've been meaning to go do karaoke and right there in front of Hulk Hogan. He's like the judge, it's him and his wife now, and Jimmy Hart is there and stuff. Like all these old school guys show up, and it's open to the public. You just go up and you just got to impress the Hulkster, So I'm thinking, what could I sing, man? I don't know. Like, do you have any tips, like any songs that you think would impress the Hulkster that, will help me to win? Because, like it's weird. I grew up in just like the hip hop rap culture,
Yeah.
That's like, I know lyrics to all the rap songs back in the day.
Okay.
And I like 80s ballads, but I'm like, I don't think the Hulkster is going to be impressed with any like Chicago songs or, so, like Peter Cetera or anything like that. Like,
right.
I'm trying to think, do you know any songs that you think would be good for the Hulkster? Because I'll learn that song and I'll play it, man, and I'll be in a video.
I don't know. Yeah, that's something. So you're gonna do it though.
Oh, I'm doing it. Yeah, it's Monday night.
You're gonna do it.
I got it.
You should get someone to record it and make that one of your videos, man.
Oh, for sure. I got to get a babysitter. That's why I haven't done it yet. I'll get a babysitter for Monday night. His son is the DJ. His son is like the DJ there. So I've watched plenty of these. I watch it live sometimes. And I'm like, I can't believe it. It's right down the road. I got to get to this.
Man.
Just to be able to hang out with Hulk Hogan would be cool. But then to actually perform and have him like either give me the thumbs up or down, I'll take whatever, but I want to impress the man. I want to win, like, I want to let these these vocal cords be put to good use, and I still got it, like someday these these things,
of course. Well, that video.
I'll make a video out of it.
That'd be the viral video. That'd be the next sensation there. Well, hey, you saw my Jimmy Walker Good Times video, right? What I bet.
Oh, cool.
Do you see that one? Okay.
Oh, I love it.
So there you go. But meeting the Hulkster, that's 10. That's 10x on that. That's gonna be great. So.
Man. No, Jimmy Walker's up there, man. That's cool.
That's a cool story. Any other items to show? Or got any other things?
All right. Yeah.
Show and tell.
Let's see some, things that I'm into. My latest pickup, it's something I guess a lot of guys do. Do you remember the Bird, Mark Friedrich?
Oh yeah, of course.
Big Bird, yeah.
Yeah.
These are the type of guys I like to collect. Flash in the pan, like one hit wonder, right?
Unfortunately, yeah. Hey Hugo.
He had arm troubles, but
Hugo, do you remember seeing that Sports Illustrated with the Bird Friedrich, and he was with Big Bird on the cover of Sports Illustrated? Now that would be an item to get autographed too. That Big Bird thing.
Oh man, for sure.
I just remember that as a kid because Sesame Street was my jam, as the kids like to say. So.
Oh yeah. See, and there's that baseball with pop culture, that mix. He's the only, pop, trivia, I guess, trivia question. He's the only baseball player to ever be on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine.
I
the
did not
bird.
know that. I did
Yeah,
not
the only
know that.
player ever.
That's
Yeah.
okay. In what
So he
capacity?
had that.
Because he
Uh-huh.
does. Was it purely sports that the Rolling Stone or does he have some music connection too, Fidrich?
No, I guess because he was just he
The
had that
cultural
1 year where
phenom.
he was yeah
He
just a
was.
phenom, and Rolling Stone was like, this dude he's
Yeah.
out there, man. Like he's talking to himself on the mound and writing stuff on
Yeah.
on the dirt, and he was like a rock star,
Yeah.
man.
Hey,
So
hey,
yeah, so
you know what,
I'm excited
you
to
know what that
get
kindle,
that. I was so thrilled. Mhm.
you know what that kindles up memories. And this is your Boston connection. I think of another
Uh-huh.
guy that would be that kind of way out there is Bill the Spaceman Lee.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh, I
saw a
got his autograph. Too
documentary
bad I
on
didn't
that
pull it out.
guy on I think it
Yeah.
was on Amazon or something. He's still, I don't know if he's still, because the documentary is probably several years ago, but he was in some kind of independent league still pitching. Bill, do you
Yeah.
have any?
He pitched this year, I believe, for the
Okay.
Savannah Bananas. Savannah Bananas. He's still going. He's like 75, I think.
Yeah.
I think he had a heart attack on the mound like a couple of years ago,
Oh gosh.
and he's like, I'm going back. I'm going back,
Yeah.
man. He's amazing. But yeah, what a character.
I
Man, I
love
should have had.
characters like that.
Man, I had
I love
like
the
the same.
characters.
Yeah, like out of the same set. This is 1999 Fleer. Um, the Bill Lee autograph that I have, it's out of the same set. And he's
Oh
wearing like a
wow. Okay.
spaceman suit. Yeah, it's a spaceman suit, man. It's such a cool card.
Yeah.
I should have I should have pulled that out. I didn't even think about it, but
Yeah.
but yeah, that's like
Next
latest
time.
pickup. Let me see. Yeah, if I got
Or
anything else that's
make a video on that one.
yeah. You know, what's Brooks Robinson passed away a couple of days ago, so
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
my Brooks Robinson autograph.
Man. Wow.
Diving there. I love this autograph because that's
Right.
when I think of Brooks Robinson, he's the man with the glove and at
He is.
third base, and that's him diving for one. And for me,
Yeah.
I like this card because it's in Miami. The Baltimore Orioles used to have spring training in Miami, so I like
Exactly.
for me it's important where the picture was taken, especially if
Right.
it's in Florida. I love that. So I wanted to show that one as a nod to Brooks Robinson. He was a cool guy, and man, I had a lot of stuff like being that pop
So
culture baseball mix. Yeah. Uh huh.
no, I was going to say back to Robinson. Some of that footage where
Yeah.
he's going into the hole, I swear he's practically in the visitor's dugout and he's
Yeah.
making the play and throwing it to first. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
Incredible.
he
Yeah.
was decent offensively, but he wasn't
Yeah.
a Brett or a Schmidt offensively, but with
Right.
the whole package, the glove and he's
Oh
got
yeah.
to be one of the best of all time. I mean, the guy is just
Right.
um yeah,
Yeah.
you know, who
Yeah.
are
For
some
sure.
modern
He
day,
really is.
yeah, I mean, look at the modern day players, you got some good third basemen too. Um oh,
Yeah.
uh, this is called brain farts here. The the Rockies guy, the guy that was
Oh,
the
Nolan Arenado.
yeah,
With the
Arenado. He's
yeah.
probably the best. He's the closest thing I think
Yeah.
to what Brooks Robinson was. I mean, Brooks was
Right.
a little
Yeah.
before my time, but the highlights and stuff,
Mhm.
that's Arenado right there too. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
so
Arenado's won it.
that's
Like he's won the Gold Glove every year he's been in the league, and
oh
he's got a great
right.
bat. So
Yeah.
he's up there with
So yeah,
Schmidt and Brooks Robinson. Yeah.
yeah. So that card, that's awesome that you got that. Yeah,
Yeah, I love that
that's
one.
great.
He was a great signer. He was really,
Mhm.
he really cared about fans, the fans. So he signed for everybody, and I like guys like that. The
Yeah.
old school guys are definitely cool, the coolest of all. And but yeah, stuff like this I wanted to show real quick. Stuff that I got.
Yep.
To mix like movies and baseball. Like this
Yeah.
movie, The Rookie. You remember this one
I do.
with Quaid, Dennis Quaid? Yeah.
Yep.
So The Rookie. I went out and got Jim Morris. That's who the movie's based on, right? His
Right.
experience coming to the major leagues. So this is rookie autograph
Okay.
for Jim
Yep.
Morris. So
That
I
was a
like
great movie.
stuff like that.
That was
Yeah,
that
people
was a
who
Disney
like
movie.
were featured in movies. Like
Yep.
who a movie was made of. Like to throw it back a bit. Do you remember the movie Fear Strikes Out with
I've
Anthony
heard of
Perkins?
it.
It's a
I've
50s
heard of it.
movie.
I've never seen it. I've never seen it, but I've
Okay.
heard of it. Fear
Yeah, years
Strikes
ago. It's
Out. Great
based
name.
on Jimmy Pearsall, and
Oh yeah.
he's got a
Yep.
crazy story. If you look him up, like he was doing electroshock therapy and stuff, and then the next season he's like almost winning MVP. It's like it's wild stuff, man. But stuff like that really, I like it when baseball gets crossed over into
Right.
like mainstream, pop culture type stuff.
Hey,
You know,
Hugo, let me
uh-huh.
ask you a quick question. You had
Yeah,
mentioned Dennis Quaid. He was in
yeah,
a recent movie called The Hill.
The
It's
Hill.
kind of a faith. It's more of a faith-based movie, but don't let that scare you because and it's based on a true story. He never played in the majors, but he's a minor leaguer called The Hill.
Okay.
John Smoltz actually makes a guest appearance. I don't want to,
Oh, cool.
be a spoiler alert, but check out The Hill. It was we saw it a couple last month or so. It was in theaters, but good
Yeah.
movie. So
Oh,
Quaid,
nice. I'll have
yeah,
to check that
yeah,
out. Yeah, appreciate
yeah,
that. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah. Yeah, it doesn't get a
Yeah,
lot of run because, like I said, it's kind of a faith-based movie. But you know
yeah.
what I liked about it is the actors look like they actually did play baseball. Some of those old
Right.
baseball movies where they're not
Oh, yeah.
hitting correctly or they're throwing kind of like
Right.
goofy. Yeah. So,
Yeah. Oh, for
but
sure.
anyway,
It's like
I just wanted to throw that. Keep going, Hugo. Sorry about that.
no, yeah, no, yeah, right on. Like baseball movies. You know, it's so cringy sometimes. I see it. I'm like, oh, these guys are just actors. They're not players, or whoever directed it is not a baseball fan because you could just tell by the situations. It's like
Yeah.
that wouldn't happen in real life. But I always like things like this, like Bull Durham, one of my favorite movies. So
Hmm.
then I go and get a bunch of Bull Durham cards. I've shown these before in a video, but I get a
Yep.
kick out of that. The actors that were in the movie. Let's see another one here real quick. All right, so my
Hey,
wife.
Hugo.
Uh huh.
Question for you.
Yeah.
Do you get those off of like at card shows or online, or do you actually pull any of those from packs or
No, pack pulled stuff. Not really. I don't have much luck. Like I learned early on when getting back in the hobby that
yeah,
if you want something, it's like just go look for it because you'll save yourself a ton of time and money. Like
exactly.
I would love to
That's
pull it in
true.
a pack. I would love it.
Right.
Like I still want
Right.
that card of Ben. I'm trying to throw as many words, so that's why I'm like talking a lot. I'm trying to throw in that really, really common word to win that card.
Oh, yeah.
But
I don't think you've said it,
I
man.
haven't won it yet. But I haven't forgotten about it.
Oh man.
But
Man.
it's cool that you pulled it out of a pack because I've pulled basketball autographs out of packs, but never baseball, which is
Right.
crazy. So yeah, I just buy these like this one. My wife's favorite baseball movie is Moneyball. I'm okay with Moneyball. The thing I don't like about it is, they made it sound like the team was just a bunch of like no-name guys, but they had Barry Zito, they had this guy, which is one of my pickups recently at a show, Tim Hudson. I picked this up for $3. It's like his rookie autograph. Somebody had it for $3. I'm
Wow.
like, yeah, I'll buy that all day long.
$3.
Yeah, $3.
Okay.
The guy was like, I guess they forgot how good Tim Hudson was. I mean, the guy was a great pitcher, but
Exactly.
so
Yeah.
yeah, Moneyball's a cool movie, but the
Yeah.
main guy featured in it was Scott Hatterberg. So
Oh,
this Scott
wow.
Hatterberg's
I forgot
autograph,
about
and these
that.
all
Yeah.
these all like certified autographs, and
Yep.
yeah, and so my wife gets a kick out of these, because she loves that movie. It's not one of my favorites, but it's a good movie. I'm more into like Bull Durham, and I like the Bad News Bears because I
Bad
grew up
News
with
Bears.
the,
That was what
I
that
grew up with the Bad News
Hugo, that
Bears,
came out.
So
Hugo, that came out. Bad News Bears came out in
yeah,
'76. So I'm
yeah,
dating myself, but I was 9 years old. So as a 9-year-old, that movie just was like it had the swearing in it, and
right,
it was just kind of a
yeah,
naughty for a 9-year-old. But it was one of my
right,
favorites. Oh my goodness. Oh. And
man,
I've
it's so
seen you
funny.
show Bad News Bears cards on your channel too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Oh, I got him here. Here's the Bad News
Love to see
Bears.
them.
With
There it
Walter
is.
Matthau, right? And
Yep.
Tatum O'Neal, and of course I got the whole set with Tatum O'Neal.
Oh
All
my
the way
goodness.
to, Freddy Krueger. Jackie Earl Haley. You know, he got into yeah,
Kelly
he's the
Leak.
new Freddy Krueger. Yeah,
Kelly Leak.
yeah, Kelly Leak. Yeah, so I got
Right.
the whole
Oh my
set there.
gosh.
Yeah, I
My
still love
gosh.
that movie. You know, the thing I like about it is, you know, growing up in Rhode Island, you know, my little league was pretty rough. You know, like the dudes were. It was very similar to the Bad News Bears. There was a lot of trash talking. There was like
Okay.
really inappropriate stuff that, like, you know, where people would say words that, you know, not said anymore,
Yeah.
just like Bad News Bears, you know. And
Yeah.
I didn't know how bad it was until I got the DVD, because I always watched it like on, you know, on like USA Network, you know,
Oh,
stuff
right.
like that
Where it's
growing up.
censored. Yeah. I got
It
you.
was always on TV, so everything
Yeah.
would get taken out.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, I put on the DVD. I'm like, whoa, no wonder this doesn't get any
Buttermaker.
more playtime. Buttermaker.
Buttermaker drinking. He's got the yeah, he's got the
Yeah.
cans of
Oh yeah.
beer in his
Yeah.
there you go. Hey, here's the Buttermaker.
Yeah. Buttermaker. Yeah. What are you drinking tonight?
Oh, it's an Oktoberfest. It's called
All right.
I've got this thing.
Perfect.
Yeah, take this off
All
here.
right.
It's can't do the camera thing. All right, Shells. You probably never heard of it. It's
Okay.
a
Cool.
local brewery out of
It's a
Minnesota.
local. All
But
right.
yeah, they got these Oktoberfest
Nice.
beer. How about you? What are you
All
drinking?
right. That's the way to do it.
What
I got a local brewery, Cigar
Oh
City,
wow.
Tampa. So it's this is called the High
See,
Lie, just a pale ale, you know. But Cigar City, pretty cool place. They brew
see.
a lot down here, you know. But yeah, I got to keep it local, right?
Yeah, I thought maybe you're gonna pull out the Bush Light or something, but there you go. He's got the craft
Yeah,
local
no, I
beer.
thought about doing like a Sam Adams, you know, but
Yeah.
because of my, you know, where I'm from, but where I grew up. But nah, I'm gonna stick with the local guys here. You
So
know, I'm always in Tampa. That's like, you know, I'm in Tampa as much as I am in Lakeland. You know, I love that city.
so you
So much
mentioned
there, you know.
a couple of my favorites. What about Sandlot, Field of Dreams? Those
All right,
two?
yeah. Well, Sandlot. So I got, you know, the DVD. I'm old school, man.
Got the
I'll
Sand.
stick to the DVD. Hey, you know what? If I had a VHS of it, I would, because I have a VCR still. Like I've been married so long, my wedding video is in the VHS. You know, so it's like, you know, so I still have a VCR just to watch my wedding video every now and then. But if I find a Sandlot on VCR and VHS, I'll buy it. But I got, you know, some of the guys, some of the kids, these are all autographed, and I've shown this on videos before. But you know, I don't have the main ones. These are like the more affordable ones, because, you know, this stuff, man. Now that there's so many collectors getting back in a hobby, you know, they pick this stuff up and they don't let it go. So supply and demand is crazy right now. You know, like there's not much supply and the demand is really high for these.
Oh,
You
that's
know,
big. That's
yeah,
that's
because
yeah.
anyone that grew up watching this movie, like now, you know, has disposable income and whatnot, and so they're buying these up, and you know, these
Yeah.
all go for well over $50 now, and these, you
Oh,
know, were the
yeah.
lesser known guys in the movie. But if you
Yep.
get, you know, if you get like the main guy, the main kid in the movie, it's over $100. A Squints
Right.
is up to like now $150.
Yeah.
You know,
And
like yeah, Wendy Peppercorn. If you get her autograph, which is the ugliest autograph I've ever seen, for the actress, she does just like a little scribble. It's terrible, but you know,
okay.
you're paying $200 for that autograph. You know, it's
No harm in
wild. So
Killebrew. It's no harm
no
in
harm in
Killebrew
Killebrew,
autograph.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got
exactly. No harm in
no.
Killebrew, but
No,
yeah,
that's
but you know, I
awesome.
enjoy stuff like that. You know, like, oh, real quick. I know we're going pretty long here, but
We're fine.
do you remember $1 Million Arm, where they
Oh,
went to India looking for baseball talent to see if they, you know,
vaguely
a billion
familiar.
people. It's like, what they have. It's a Disney movie, so you know, a
Yeah.
scout goes to India looking for talent to see if anyone could play baseball, and they find a couple of guys that could throw, you know, and these are the guys here. It's Dinesh Patel and Rinku Singh, right? So Rinku Singh is
Whoa.
the main guy here,
Crazy.
and I got his refractor autograph. Now these are fun to collect because, you know, again, it's a tie to a movie. I don't have the DVD. I mean, I got to pick that one up still, but you know, it was a Disney movie. And now the fun thing is, this guy Rinku Singh right here, you know, it didn't pan out. He didn't make it. he wasn't bad, but he never made the major leagues. But he did make it onto WWE. That's him right there. He's a wrestler now.
Oh my goodness.
So
What a
that's Rinku
connection.
Singh. And what's crazy
Wow.
is like his wrestler name is Veer Mahan. So you see it there, it's Veer Mahan, but he still signs it Rinku Singh. So that's him, back when he was just a baseball player. Doesn't look very intimidating, but
It
now
doesn't.
he's a beast, man.
Wow.
Yeah,
Talk about
so
cards that go together. Wow.
right, exactly. So I get a kick out of that. It's just
Yeah. No, that's
I like
awesome. I was gonna say I got lots of wrestling fans that are subscribed to my channel, so they're gonna love this.
oh cool.
Go on though. I'm sorry. Go on.
No, that's that I just get a kick out of
Yeah.
these type of things, baseball being mentioned in movies, and then having cards that are connected to those movies. That's the way I like to collect. I know in this community, it's very heavy, like Hall of Famers and rookie cards, and those are awesome. I would never knock that stuff. I just tend to go, more of this type of stuff. Like I like Jimmy Pearsall. I like that story. I like, he was a character. What his thing is that got him kind of kicked out of baseball?
No.
Well, I want to say it was Duke Snyder hit his 400th home run, and he didn't get much fanfare for it. So Jimmy Pearsall was like, well, when I hit a big home run, I'm going to make a spectacle out of it, I guess you could say. So when he hit his 100th home run, he ran the bases backwards. Like, he still went through first, second, and third base, but he ran it backwards. So, nobody thought it was funny, Everybody in baseball was kind of pissed at him. Like, the next day, he was gone from the team, like within a couple of days, he was out. And then he just had trouble staying in the league, and he was gone, basically. He ended up just playing a few more games, but he was like a character, and I like stories like that. I like guys like that, who are out there, and they're more interesting to talk about, to me.
Right.
The stats are fun, the stats for baseball. That's what got me loving baseball. Reading all the stats on cards, I really dig that. But once you start to get, to know about these players and learn their stories and backgrounds and things they did. Oh, it's real quick. Speaking of, I keep saying real quick.
No, that's okay. We got time. We'll just make this the longest YouTube video ever, but that's okay.
Oh man, yeah. Obviously,
that's fine.
I haven't said the common word yet, so I'm still trying. But speaking of interesting characters, have you heard of Ron LaFleur?
Oh yeah, I won't spoil it, but yeah, I've heard he's got a great story. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So you see his stories, like, the name of the movie that, the book and movie that was written and directed by, not by him, but about him. It's called 1 in a Million, right? The Ron LaFleur story, because really, like, this guy really is 1 in a million or billion. He was discovered playing in prison.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that.
He was he's from Detroit. And he was in prison, and
he could steal a base. And, I mean, no prison joke intended, but he could steal it. He had the speed, man. Yeah, he was He was good. He was good.
Right. And it was and look, of course they made a movie about him, because what a story, right? And LeVar Burton played him, and played him in the movie, and he had a good career. He made an all-star team. He was legit. Like, this guy had natural talent.
He was like a Ricky Henderson almost.
Yeah.
He didn't have the power. He didn't have the power, but he was
didn't have
fast.
the power.
He was
right. He was like Vince Coleman, like,
What a story.
What a story. So stuff like that. He's still around. He lives in St. Pete right now. So wow. I'll try to reach out to him one of these days to see if he's willing to talk baseball. And he would be a cool guy to talk to. Hey, you never know. Hey, shoot your shot. Like.
Yeah. If I was an ex-player, I don't. I was just thinking, you have all these former players living in Florida, but if I had my choice, I think Florida, as opposed to the Minnesota winters, would be a little more enticing to me. But that's great that Florida just has a bastion of players and personalities. But that's what and I don't know if you heard my intro, Hugo, but that's what attracted. That's why I really enjoy your channel, is because your stories that you tell, and then you not only do stories, which is great on its own, but you go out into the locations
Yeah.
and you tell a story that. So hey, this is a big question. I am glad I didn't leave before asking. They
Uh-huh.
are so well done. Did you go like in school, like film
Oh
school, or
man.
how do you learn to do
Oh man,
or are you just self-taught, or
you're making me blush, Rob.
no,
So-
no,
no, yeah,
I'm
just
serious.
I do it all. I have a friend who's a comedian, and he does comedy specials through like he edits his own stuff, and
Okay.
and he's like, hey, I use this thing CapCut. If you ever think about getting into YouTube, and he's like, you'll figure it out. It's really easy to use, and I had never really done any editing, so I just downloaded CapCut, put my video, started playing with it, and yeah, I appreciate it. I never had no training, just
Okay.
kind of like I wish I was
I mean,
better at it. There's certain things I want to do that don't come out like the way I wanted to, but with
yeah.
time, I'll figure it out.
Because I
You know,
saw this, I'm like, is this like USC film school or what? Where did you get where'd you? There's a lot of talent out
yeah.
there. I've got my iPhone 6, and I'm kind of the low budget, but you
Oh,
don't have a big budget
great.
either. But you're making them look like they're like small independent films. Some of these,
Oh, I appreciate it.
it's great. And hey,
Oh,
another thing about yours,
yeah.
and we've got you indoors, which a lot of people don't ever get to see you except on these like streams and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But you're
Right.
outdoors in Florida. So what is the trademark that right now people aren't seeing? Um, what is it
Trademark.
that?
Oh,
What's one of your trademarks?
like the shades.
The shades.
Yeah, I wear the
And why?
shades all the time. Like you
And
can
why
actually
is
see my
that?
eyes.
Yeah. Hugo's always wearing the shade, so it's like, okay. One of the first videos, like, oh my god, he has eyes. But
Right.
why are you wearing shades all the time?
Man, good question. Well, it's sunny Florida, right? So
What? It's sunny. It's sunny. What? Hey.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
oh, oh, hey.
oh yes.
There it is. Oh my gosh.
Ah,
Here
thank
comes
you,
the
man.
talk.
Yeah, all right.
He
The
said the
sun,
secret
go.
word. So, woohoo.
All right, awesome.
This is yours, my man. And
Sweet.
And if you said it earlier, I may have forgot about the whole thing. So people
No.
might be out there. Oh, you said it earlier. I don't know, but son,
Oh
yay!
man.
All
Hopefully,
right.
hopefully they stayed watching, to see if I would get it, Save it towards the end.
Exactly.
Oh man,
All
that's
right.
awesome. Hey, thanks for grading on the curve. I said sunny, but you took it.
Oh, right. Hey,
Appreciate that.
it's part of that. Hey,
Yeah.
let's do a quick lightning round. We're
All
getting a
right.
little time, but okay. So I'll say a word, and you'll see we're more fun in games, right? I'll
Oh
say a
boy.
word, and you just say a thought, a quick thing. Okay.
Okay.
We kind of touched on these already. Steroid era.
Canseco.
Okay.
So
Pele.
one word answers, or
Well, they could be a couple, but we
oh,
already
okay.
Pele.
Well, yeah. I still say
Pele.
Canseco, juiced. Like the book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pele.
Pele, the goat.
Goat.
Yeah,
Okay.
he is the goat. He is, for me, the greatest of all time, worldwide.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh,
He
by the
is
way, what do you know what team this is from?
uh New York Cosmos,
Cosmos,
right?
New York.
Cosmos, yeah.
Yeah. So that was at the
Yeah.
tail end of his career. Hey, did you ever
Yeah.
see that movie? I think I mentioned it in my video. It's called Victory.
Victory.
Did you ever?
Right. I never got to watch that
Oh,
one.
do me a
Man.
favor. Do yourself a favor. Watch it and then tell me if you liked it. I think you
Okay.
will. It's got
Okay.
Pele in it, and
Cool.
it's not a
I'm
lot
gonna
of
look
people
for
know
it.
about it. But
Does
Michael
he speak?
Caine,
Does he
what's
have his
that?
lines in English? Is he speaking
He
English in
has
the movie?
English, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's talking. Michael
All right.
Caine, Sylvester Stallone, talk
Man.
about, separation or whatever of
Right.
Kevin Bacon, but yeah.
Yeah. So awesome.
Fenway Park.
Man, greatest ballpark in America. I've been there many times.
Hey, we talked about the 86 World Series, so we got to kind of even out the playing field. 2004 World Series.
Oh, best year of my life. Well, don't tell my wife that. 2001 was the best year of my life. I already got married, but
yeah, it's on the VHS, right?
yeah, it's on VHS. Yeah, man, it's weird. Like we were married in 2001, but we still have a VHS. It's weird, but yeah, 2004, man, that was such a memorable year. I watched like almost every game that year. Yeah, great memories, man. Best baseball season ever.
Good. I'm glad that it got the 86 taste out of your mouth. Okay.
Oh, for
All right.
sure. Big time.
Here's another one. John Mangini.
Best collection on YouTube. Yeah, best baseball card collection overall. Just awesome.
I'll toast to that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I love everything he shows. Everything he shows is cool. You know?
Yeah. Exactly. Plus, he does the nunchuck thing. He's got the nunchuck. So.
Oh yeah, I love it.
He's a character.
And I got to meet John. He's a cool guy, man.
You went to the National?
No, he actually came down to Florida at the Clearwater show, and a few of us got to hang out. So.
Oh yeah.
We
I saw that video.
For a few hours, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
I saw the
cool
video.
Guy.
Yeah.
What you see is what you get with John, you know. And his wife is a hoot, man. Oh, she's a blast.
Okay.
They're such a cool couple to hang out with. It's
nice.
John Mangini, man. So it's the best collection, but also one of the coolest dudes, you know, in person. Yeah.
Oh, he seems like he would be. Hopefully, I'll make it to the National one of these years, and I can meet everyone. I was disappointed because I'm only like a 6-hour car ride from Chicago, and just things didn't work out. I didn't make it, but that would have been the one to go to. So. Okay,
my sister lives in Chicago. Oh, sorry, Babe Ruth. All right, it's funny. I think of baseball as not pre-war and post-war. I think of integration and pre-integration. So for Babe Ruth, best pre-integration player.
Okay.
That's how my mind thinks.
I don't know.
Because it was like
there's something to be said to that.
Before integration happened, it was like the best white guys played here, right?
Right.
And then the bench warmers were like, well, some of those spots, the guys from the Negro leagues could have played in those spots. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. So and vice versa.
Right.
Both leagues had guys who, if you had them combined, so that's how I look at it. But
no, very true. Which kind of brings me back to our previous conversation where your steroid era players that are not included in the Hall of Fame because of their, Barry Bonds, Clemens, because of their supposedly unfair advantage. But then you'd have to go back to, like you're saying, the segregation and all that stuff. You got Ty, all those guys. You could make an argument that it was unfair because they weren't playing against the best. So
right.
Good point.
Could be exactly. Good point.
Okay, hey, that's a great segue. Here's another one for you, Buck O'Neil.
Buck O'Neil. Oh man, I think he's the greatest storyteller from in baseball. Like in times past, now whatever.
Yeah.
I could listen to that guy for hours.
Yeah, he was great in that.
That was my first video, Buck O'Neil.
Yeah, no, that's right. So everyone check that. His first video was Buck O'Neil, because that was for me, I was introduced in the Ken Burns baseball documentary, Buck O'Neil. He was for me the star of that whole. It was great.
Right. Oh,
okay.
What a guy.
You have done, we could talk all day about that. Okay, Yan Gomes.
Yan Gomes. Oh my goodness.
Hey,
all right, real quick, I gotta show a card.
You're gonna show me? See, hey, everyone out there, we did not reherse any of this stuff. This is all.
Rehearse any of this.
This is all.
It's my Yan Gomes autograph.
There he is.
And that's first Brazilian baseball player, right? Not to win. He's the first All-Star, I guess you could say. Because here's the thing: first Brazilian player to win was actually this guy, Paulo Orlando. Look at that, with the Brazilian flag on there. He won with the Royals back in 2015, was it? Okay. But Yan Gomes is like, with the Nationals,
That's right.
Yeah. First All-Star, Brazilian All-Star, so really cool.
All right. Bloody Sock.
Oh, man. Kurt Schilling, and it's like, and it's true. It's a fact, There's some bloody sock deniers out there. It's like, come on, man.
Exactly.
That dude really went through that procedure. Like, they're great. And it, to me, the gutsiest performance I've ever seen of a pitcher in baseball history. Yeah. So.
And here's one that all Red Sox fans should be grateful for. All us Minnesota Minnesota Twins people because he's a former Twin.
Oh
Big
yeah. No,
Poppy. Big
oh
Poppy.
man, Big Poppy right here.
There he is. There he is.
Yeah, Big Poppy is, man. A lot of like my cousins, my younger cousins, say he's the greatest Red Sox of all time. Now I believe it's Ted Williams, but Big Poppy is probably the most important Red Sox of all time. Like just breaking the curse and being on championship teams. Like after the Boston Marathon bombing, like doing the little Boston address. It's called, and riling up the whole team, and it's just Big Poppy's just a fun guy
Wow.
to be a fan of. You know, he's just a good guy. He got to start in Minnesota, which is cool. Like he met his wife there and got ties to Minnesota, and just really awesome. Yeah, I like that tie-in. Yeah.
Well, everyone, when Hugo says Big Poppy was one of probably the most influential or the biggest impact, and this is coming from a guy that I know you're a big Ted Williams 1954 card guy, aren't you? That's kind of one of your grails.
Well,
Teddy.
yeah, I want to get pretty much any Ted Williams card.
Okay. Okay.
It's weird. I'm a weird collector. When I have, my budget, I'm like, all right, what am I going to get? I always end up getting stuff that, like for example, I don't have a David Ortiz autograph. Like, what's wrong with me? My favorite player, and I don't have his autograph. So it's like every time I go to buy one, I'm like, well, I could get like 4 or 5 other cards, and I go to that. So like Ted Williams, his cards ain't cheap, and and I want to get like a 54, either the first or the last card, or 56. I like that one. One ended today at like, oh, it was a beautiful card. It was like $117. Great deal for the shape it was in, for a 56 Topps Williams. It looked beautiful, but anyway, I still don't own one from his playing days. So that is a grail card for me. Like anything Ted Williams, I want to pick up. I don't know. I'm a weird guy, man. I spend my budget on other things.
Well, I'm in that same club. I don't own I do own, and do you have is it the 71 where he's a manager of the Senators?
Oh yeah,
I've got that one. That's my only Ted Williams card that I
have. To be honest with you, I've seen it many times, and I always pass because I'm like, he doesn't look right,
No, exactly.
I can't see him anything outside the Red Sox, So
yeah, and of course they could make a modern day card. They talk about the floating heads. You could put Williams modern day. No, that was in bad taste because the old cryogenic thing. But anyway, sorry. Hey.
Oh man, I was like listening. I'm like, oh wait, what?
It's
like, all right.
I just offended probably half of the YouTube community with that one, but no. He was great. You know what he was to me, Hugo? He was like the John Wayne of baseball. When Ted Williams talked, I'm saying Teddy like I know the guy, but Ted Williams talked, he just reminded me of the Duke. Just had that drawl or that. He was a man's man.
Funny. It's funny you say that because I say John Wayne was the Ted Williams of Hollywood. So
John Wayne was here we go. Hey, I got
Ted Williams used to go hang out with like Dom DiMaggio and Johnny Pesci and Bobby Dorr, and they would go watch these westerns back when they were in spring training and stuff. That that's what they would do, kind of just go watch movies and hang out. And so sure, he was like, yeah, I want to be like John Wayne of baseball. He kind of was, he's a little bit.
Yeah.
He wasn't very popular with the media or with the fans.
Yeah. Or like you said, though, maybe John Wayne was trying to be the Ted Williams of acting.
Yeah,
it could be. That could be. Okay, I got one quick trivia question for you.
All right.
What is the best the best men's cologne? The best men's cologne. Man,
good question. It's funny. I don't wear cologne, but look at this. It's so weird. I have to hide it from my son. But I got a Calvin Klein Obsession little bottle right here. Because if not, he'll bathe in this, So I got it hidden here in my room because he knows not to come in this area.
Yeah.
And but yeah, Obsession's pretty good. Man, the last time I wore cologne, I want to say, it's not Dracar Noir. I'm not like Michael Scott or anything, you know. That's Michael
Oh my
Scott's
gosh.
choice, but
You talk about The Office, we could go another hour, but no, we can't do
oh
that.
man,
No,
really?
I'll have to say it. I'm impressed that you pulled out the cologne. Like I said, we haven't rehearsed this,
We haven't
but that
rehearsed
is
any of this.
incorrect.
It's
It's
sitting right
incorrect.
there.
The answer
Sitting
is
right there.
incorrect. You know what the
Yeah.
correct answer is? The correct
What's that?
answer, Hugo Boss.
Oh man,
Come
that's
on.
right, Hugo Boss.
Hugo Boss.
I used to own Hugo Boss, man. It had the little red square right with
Did
the Hugo
you?
Boss, and
Okay.
yeah, boy, that was a long time ago, man. That was high school, college years, you know, long time ago.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
you
even know if they
told
still
me.
make Hugo Boss.
Yeah, I don't know if a lot of the viewers know, but we were talking about offline. Your last name kind of was kind of people would make fun of your first and last name. Why?
All right, so think now. Go back into if for those that are old enough, go back into the '80s and think of the two crappiest cars of the '80s. So think about that. So anyway, so my name's Hugo Pinto, right? But people think of all right. Now this one, I wanted to show this in case it came up, right? There's a Hugo car, the rise and fall of the worst car in history, which it was. It was a 3-cylinder piece of crap, right? So people thought my name was Hugo, and then last
Hugo.
name Pinto.
Okay.
Everybody knows the Ford Pinto is just
Yeah, I've
right.
heard of that. Yeah.
Like you don't want to be driving one of those, like if you get rear-ended, right? So
Right.
Hugo Pinto, growing up with that was just immediate. Like talk about an icebreaker. It's just, hey, I'm Hugo Pinto. It's like, oh man, is that really your name? Like your parents really hated you, man. It's like, no. Like my name in Brazil is like Mike Smith. You know what I mean? It's like very common.
Oh, okay. Right.
You know what I mean? But you come to America and it's like, oh, you're named after the crappiest cars ever made, and which
Well,
it was fun. Growing up
here's
with
how
that name gives you tough skin.
Yeah. Well, here's how my deranged mind works. So here's a kid. He comes to America. His name Hugo Pinto, and then where's he end up? In Boston, which is known as kind of the bean town. So you got the Pinto bean town,
Bean.
and you got Pinto.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how was how it should have worked out.
Oh, so many people call me Pinto Bean, which I didn't mind. I like Pinto Bean. That was a lot better than Hugo Pinto, the crappy cars, and oh man, yeah, those, nowadays it's good. I guess not that I have a normal name, but nobody picks on me already, Once in a while you'll get like,
they better not pick on you. You got that.
There.
You got that jujitsu or whatever that thing you're learning. You got that. They better not pick on you.
Capoeira, man. It's it.
So, man, we're gonna have to do a part 2 on this because this is just too fun. Man. So, before we go,
especially if you're a fan of The Office,
I know.
Like I didn't even bring this out. Does this look familiar, Office fans?
Is it Dwight?
Yeah, Dwight Schrute has this on his desk.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's Mike Lieberthal, but I'm going to do a short about that one of these days and explain why.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what she said. I don't know, but yeah. Okay. So, hey, any parting words before we sign off?
Man, it's just, this is like, until a couple of weeks ago, we had never connected, and the beauty of YouTube and this modern day we live in, it's I found out about you through Orlando's VR. I was like, well, who's this commenting collector? So I clicked on your channel there, and here we are a couple weeks later, right? So it's just if anyone's watching this far and you're wondering about this YouTube thing, it's like, man, take that step and do it. It's an awesome community. You get to meet some of the coolest people in the world, like-minded guys. This is a blast. Like, yeah, we could go on for hours and hours, because we just, we think alike, right? Like we get excited about the same thing. So it's been a blast. Like it really flies by. We've been on for pretty long time now. But
Yeah.
it goes by quick because we're having fun and we're talking about something that's exciting, and just we get nostalgic about it, and we get hopeful about pickups in the future. And like you get that Pele jersey. It's just these items that we get, although they're just items, they stay behind someday. It's still the stories attached to it, the feelings, and the memories attached. This is more than just cardboard. This goes a lot deeper than that. So it's a great community, great hobby. Just enjoy it. Like you say at the end of your videos, good collecting, because it is good. Collecting this stuff. It's good. And we can have fun and talk. Have great conversations about it. And there's life lessons in all this too. So
Well,
I love every bit of it.
Well, what's your tagline that you say? You have a good tagline.
Oh,
Great
boy,
day for.
Oh, today's a beautiful day because we're talking baseball.
That's right. That's
oh
right.
man, it's
That's
always
right.
it is a beautiful day when you're talking baseball.
No. That's
it's kind of
hey.
cheesy,
That's
but until I come up with something better.
no. I couldn't have said it any better, Hugo. In fact, you talk about Orlando. He connected you to me, so then I subscribed back. I started watching your videos. I'm like, man, this is like. I'll give you a Red Sox reference. This is like I'm watching. I'm thinking this is 1975 Fred Lynn. He's a rookie kind of first year, but he's MVP. This is crazy.
Awesome.
So
I love it.
this is
good.
good.
That's cool, man.
No, that's cool. Good. It's good stuff. So where can people find you? They always ask that. Do you have like a social media or anything, or other than your channel, or?
Man, right now it's just my channel. I started an Instagram thing like right when I got started, but I didn't keep up with it. I made a few posts and then I stopped, but I probably should continue doing that just to to help with channel growth. Not that that's super important, but I'm always excited about who else I'm going to meet in this community, so unless you're putting yourself out there, they will know. So, just another way of spreading the word, I guess. And so I'll be on Instagram. It's Signs of the Pastime, same thing. But yeah, as of right now, it's really just YouTube, and I'm having a blast on YouTube. Yeah. This is like the greatest thing for me. Like it's so fun. I wish I was putting out more content. Like I get too. I think I overthink things. And then it's like, well, I got to get it just the way I want it, and then time passes, and it's like, all right, put out a video already.
It's worth the wait. And guess what? I'll put a link in the description to your channel, Signs of the Pastime. I'll put a link for everyone. So yeah. So hey Hugo, it's been an honor having you as my first guest. It's just been wonderful. Wonderful. It's
just all mine, Rob. Yeah, thank you so much for inviting me. And getting to talk to you is a blast, man. I love your channel. You're such a great guy, commenting on everyone's video. It's like, that goes a long way. It's really encouraging, when you're doing content, to have someone take the time to just leave a few words. It means the world. It just it keeps you motivated. It's like, oh, people actually care or like it. So I appreciate that. It's really it means a lot. And it's I know it blesses a lot of people, encourages a lot of guys. So keep it up, Rob. You're a good guy.
Oh man, I appreciate that.
Not like Chucky, good guys,
Exactly. On that, I can't add anything to that. So on that, we'll end it. We'll end this on that note. You got your Anthony Bender coming. I'll have to get your address, send that to you. Awesome. Yeah, let's do this again. Maybe I'll be on your channel or something or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
But we'll talk offline.
It was fun. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, good times. I appreciate it, Rob.
All right. Oh man, I forgot to hit the record button. No, I'm just kidding. No, could you imagine? No, that's always. I've been my paranoia is like I didn't, so hopefully I did. But anyway,
it's all right. Round two.
All right.
I've done that on videos. I didn't record. I gotta redo it.
Okay. Well, like you mentioned before, Hugo, I'll have to say it. Until next time, good collecting.
Good collecting. See ya.